Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience.
As a part-time traveling notary with a full-time job, balancing everything can be tough, especially when you're getting calls at all hours. That's where SabrinaAI comes in. Think of Sabrina as your personal assistant who answers every call, handles appointment bookings, provides quick answers to common questions, and filters out non-urgent inquiries. Sabrina works 24/7 so you never miss a client opportunity, even when you're tied up with your full-time job. With this system, you can keep things running smoothly without the stress of managing calls yourself, giving you more time to focus on your work, clients, and everything else life throws your way.
Scan the QR code for a free demo.
Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience.
So, all right, Dre, I have a question because, it's rare that we have you on here, but when we do, I always want to ask you the question of, because you're a visionary, how do you see the notary industry unfolding with everything that's going on nowadays, with the run, with AI being introduced now, with electronic filings and, people doing e-logs and stuff like that. What do you see happening in the notary industry from now and let's just say the next year or two?
Great question. I think as popular as Ron is, I wouldn't be shocked if it gets rolled back a little bit.
Okay.
And here's why. Once there are, and I saw that this actually happened with a lady in her land, that if a lot of online notaries turn out to be fraudulent, I think they're gonna roll back to the more in-person stuff. It wouldn't shock me. Let me put it like that. It wouldn't shock me.
Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience.
Texting someone back as if, maybe you don't speak to them, but you get a chance to communicate with them better. I'm curious, Stephen, what do you think?
So I think that you definitely want to seize the opportunity. So if you can't maybe answer the phone call, but you can send that text message, I think it'll give you a little bit of a little pause, between them being like, oh, they didn't answer, calling the next number. That pause will maybe let you wrap up what you're doing and then give them a phone call back. But honestly, I think the best is with what Sabrina offers, and that's if you miss a phone call, she then goes and goes after the client, and you don't have to wrap up what you were doing to get the phone to send that text or call the client back. You can just continue doing what you're doing, and everything gets handled in the background.
So, like for me, first of all, missing a phone call was gut-wrenching for me, because I knew the only time that phone would ring was because somebody wanted to spend money with me.
Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience.
So what advice would you give someone that's looking into getting into the notary business and they're considering the Ron platform? What would you say?
Try to sign up with a platform where you get clients first, just to see what the process is. Take whatever you can. If you need to get a notary friend or a family member, do a dummy session. It's a learning curve. So I think you need practice before you do jump off the bridge and go on and do your own clients. So get a little bit of practice, because every platform is different, and you have to feel it out and see what your platform is capable of doing. So learn everything about the platform before you actually start. Do a few witnessing. You can witness for someone and see how they do. Some of the platforms allow you to be a witness, so I think that's kind of good to sign up with these platforms and be a witness to see what another notary's procedures are. And also it gives you a feel, because you have to drop and drag your own tags as well. So
Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tekamaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience.
Peace, peace, peace. This is your international sales and marketing hitman, your humble hip-hop sales coach, Tiger Toledo. And you already know what it is, man. You rocking with the best. You heard? Tech taking a business call right now. He's getting this money, getting this bread. What's up, y'all? We got to get it cracking today. We have an interesting topic. Why mobile notaries everywhere are panicking, and the reason will shock you. It's not what you actually think it is. Text, say what's up to the peoples, fam.
Yeah, what's cracking, y'all? Greetings from the West Coast. Greetings from the state of California, to be specific. My name is Tekamaku. I am your Mr. Notary on Automation, and I'm coming live to you from the city of Eastside, Oakland.
That's what's, Chicago used to have this. I'm glad they got rid of it and shit. They used to hold the C for Chicago, and I was like, that shit is so whack. That shit is so whack. Because a lot of people West Coast, they would have the W or whatever, right? East Coast tried to do it. They would do the sideway W. Didn't really work, but Chicago, that big ass C, it would just wasn't flying, man. I'm glad they got rid of that one.
I'm sure there's people who still do it though.
I haven't seen it in years. Shout out to Chi-Town, Chi-City, the beautiful city, rated I think number 1 or number 2 of the most beautiful city in the United States. Tech, you got to come out here, bro. I'm telling you.
Okay, I know. What am I missing?
Bro, all right, so I know my New York is gonna get at me because of this one, but the pizza is off the chain. And for those that have been to New York and hold on. The what?
You said the pieces off
Go get
the chain.
cards. Go get the cards off the bar for me. Yeah, so for my New York, the New Yorkers in Chicago have been bumping heads on pizza for the longest, right? Now, New York got their pizza. We have the oven, I forgot what they call it, man. Like it's a brick oven type of pizza. But Chicago has so many different variations of pizza. So I've tasted both, and Chicago was winning on the pizza, bro. New Yorkers, I'm sorry. They went on the pizza. Number 1 pizza place, my opinion, Italian Fiesta. You guys could put your comments in. Who you think has the best pizza in Chicago? I say Italian Fiesta. Some people say Giordano's because they got like a deep dish, but nah. What about you guys out there? What are you guys famous for, man? Besides the Black Panthers.
Probably famous for burritos, Mexican food. It's everything out here. It's Asian foods, Mexican, Thai, West African.
What's the dominant food out there?
It's hard to say which one is. They're all about the equal, man. It's the equal number of Italian restaurants versus equal number of pizza joints, barbecue spots, Mexican spots, or Central American spots, if you want to call it that, to be specific. Yeah, I don't know if it's just one thing. I mean, it's just people might think I'm like kind of like downplaying it, but I'm being serious. If there's somebody who can correct me, if you're watching this live or you're watching this on replay, then let me know. I think it's about the same. Indian restaurants out here, and yeah. I mean, what we having tonight? Pesto pasta tonight.
I mean, like, what's the West Caribbean feel out there?
Yeah, it's a good number amount, man. It's
do you have a variation though? Is it like predominantly Jamaican? Do you have Trinidadian foods? Can you get the chicken roti, the doubles?
Yeah,
or
what
I mean?
Let me look it up real quick. There's Cocoa Breeze. I'm not sure what island they're from though. Cocoa Breeze. I have to look it up to see exactly what island they're from. But there's a lot of Jamaican spots, and but the Trinidadians, and yeah, it's fewer of those ones. But yeah, you can get enough. You can get what you want, man. If you can't find the actual restaurant, then there's probably a kitchen, like an open kitchen, where it's not an actual restaurant, but you can still order food from there. Yeah, like a hall, almost like a food hall. You can find it for sure, no doubt.
All right. Well, Chicago needs to get a little more diverse with their West Indian culture out here, man. I need more Haitian restaurants. I need more Trinidadian restaurants, Barbados. Man, bro, but that's one thing that I miss about New York is that there is such a large variety of different foods that you can try. Cuban, you name it, man. Like you can get anything out there. All right, bro, you ready for the Notary Trivia Challenge?
Yeah, man. Well, tell them how we do the show. We do our opening shout outs.
Go ahead, bro. Talk to the people.
This is how we do the show. It's your first time rocking with us. You've never seen us before. This is the Notary Insights show with Tech and Tiger. This is how we flow and glow. We start the show off, we chop it up, see what's cracking with each other. Then we get into some notary trivia so we can lace y'all up with some knowledge. You guys don't go out there and get sued, and then, or you don't get the wrong information. Then we go into our main topic of the day, which is, what's our main topic today? It's why mobile notaries are panicking.
Yeah.
And so then we'll finish with either pass or trash, or we evaluate your website, tell you why your website isn't working at all. Money Corner, which will give you some financial topics, financial subjects to make you guys to keep your money, not to make you money, but to keep it. And then, we close the show like that. So
now, matter of fact, Tech, since we're on right now, did you want to lead off with the Money Corner before the Notary Trivia Challenge, bro? We could lead off with that if you'd like.
Let's do a second.
Okay. All right, cool. So today's Notary Trivia Challenge is words that sell. This is marketing now. Marketing, influence, sales, persuasion. This is gonna be fun, Tech. I think you're gonna score 100 on this one, bro. So we're gonna spin the wheel on this. Okay, using the phrase "convenient service" in your marketing helps attract more mobile notary clients. True or false?
Man, I gotta reach deep into my book for this one. I'm gonna go true.
You gonna say true?
Yeah.
Right. That's right. The word convenient emphasizes the mobile aspect of your service, which is key selling point for clients who need notary services at their location. Great job, bro. So again, this is about marketing. This is about using some type of sales copy. This is going to help you with your website, the wording for your website. So these are words that sell. Question number 2. The phrase same day availability is not effective for mobile notaries marketing.
Ooh, that's a hard one, man. That's a hard one. You know, a lot of notaries don't. I'm gonna say false.
You're gonna say false. Correct. I told you, bro, you got to blow this one out the water. Same day availability is as highly effective as it addresses urgency, which is often a critical factor for clients seeking mobile notaries. Okay. Spin the wheel, spin the wheel. Using certified professional in your marketing materials builds trust with potential clients.
That almost made me choke, man. I'm gonna say the answer is true.
True.
Yeah, true.
And see, you know, bro, that's why I say I got to give you your props, because you have gotten the call script down to like 3 questions, right? But people don't see all of the stuff that you have that persuades people, not persuade, but persuades people when they go to your website and they see words like this that say certified professional, same day delivery, overnight, it's stuff like that. That is already building trust and authority in your business. So by the time they get on the phone with you, you really just got 3 questions to ask them.
Yeah,
so shout out to you on that, bro.
Yeah, but I'm glad you mentioned that, because just so you guys know, just putting that on your website, just saying that you're a certified professional doesn't make you a certified professional.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just saying we do same day service, that doesn't automatically translate into clients. What what you're saying, Tiger, if I hear this correctly, is you can say that, yeah, it definitely gets you past that hurdle, but you gotta back that up. And it's when you don't back it up, it's very obvious.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Question number 4. The phrase trusted by local businesses can help establish credibility with new clients.
True.
True.
These are hard
Ding,
ones,
ding,
y'all.
ding.
These are hard ones.
Yeah, so social proof, like trusted local businesses, build immediate credibility and reduces perceived risk for potential customers. So, yeah, I hope you guys are taking notes. You can rewatch the show. This will help you a lot. This is called sales copy. One of my good friends, Donnie Bryant, he gets paid 5 figures just to write a couple of emails for businesses because he uses certain tonality. He knows what customers are looking for, certain words that he uses, and they pay him 5 figures per copy just for that type of stuff, bro. So you may not have been exposed to sales copy before, but it's powerful, very powerful. Let's spin the wheel.
Obvious too.
Okay. The phrase experienced in real estate closings limits your potential client base.
False.
False. Correct. Highlighting specific expertise like experience in real estate closings actually attracts a valuable niche market and positions you as a specialist. I know, Tech, how many notaries just want to be generalists out there? That's why they call it general notary. Everybody want to be a generalist.
Yeah, but don't get it twisted though. Just because it says valuable niche doesn't mean it's more money than any other document.
That's true.
So I don't like that word, valuable niche. I don't like that word.
But it can bring it brings bread though.
Yeah, but now you determine the bread.
That's true. You get what you negotiate. Absolutely.
So if you place it as more valuable than the other types, then sure, you can. I can see with that.
Yeah, I see that AI, ChatGPT, and the rest of them, they tend to put loan signings at the top of the list. I've noticed that. I think it's incorrect, but
Well,
I
we
guess
gotta
it's going
correct
by
that.
popular status quo.
Yeah, I don't accept that. If I see, I correct that.
So, question number 6: using mobile service in your marketing is redundant for a mobile notary business. That's
What
a
a
good
great,
one, though, bro. I could see how this one could trip people up.
that's a great one. I'm gonna go false, man. I'm gonna go false.
Why?
Number one, because even though because listen, it's not going to stop someone from calling you. I'm thinking if you say mobile service and yeah, you're a mobile notary, but it's not going to stop the person from actually making the phone call and then continuing to ask the question. Do you come out to a group home or do you come out to hospitals? They'll still ask the question.
Shout out to Notary World and Natural Jesse. They in the building. I agree with you on that. So, by the way, I didn't pick these questions. Some of them I may agree with, may not agree with. Use your judgment on it. But, for the most part, it's pretty spot on. So you say false?
It's false, yeah.
Okay. And you're correct. Explicitly stating mobile service is important as it clearly communicates your key value proposition. I agree 100% with that. And that you come to the client. So yeah, there's ways of rephrasing it, right? But putting it in your copy is important because I know if I'm a customer and I'm looking for a certified professional. Now, if I look at 2 websites, right, Tech, because you do the pass or trash on the websites. If I have 2 websites, one website mentions mobile service, certified professional, real
Trusted by
estate,
local businesses.
real estate document, trusted by local businesses, versus the other website that doesn't mention none of that stuff. I mean, come on, persuade me without talking to me, right?
Yeah.
How can you persuade the reader to select you without having to talk to them on the phone? And this is how you do it. You're doing great, bro. 6-0.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear that in the past, I was just kind of playing with y'all, just joking around. But we're doing it for we obviously do this for educational, but we also do it for entertainment purposes as well. Mm-hmm. So I know my stuff, y'all, but I'm just saying sometimes I kind of play around with y'all guys. Come on,
question number 7: using quick turnaround in your marketing appeals to clients with time-sensitive documents.
Answer true.
I agree. Quick turnaround addresses the urgency many clients feel when needing notary services, making a powerful selling point. I agree.
I'll take it a step further. I don't even, because quick turnaround is not a definitive, measurable time. I would take it a step further, and I would tell them less than 24 hours, or I'd say 2 hours. I would get very specific.
Okay.
Oh,
Baby Kimba.
Puff fast, man.
Question number 8. The phrase flexible scheduling is not important to mobile notary clients.
False.
Correct. Flexible scheduling is very important as it addresses the client's need, getting notary services at times that work for their schedule. Good job, bro. 2 more. Knock this one out. Question number 9. The phrase competitive rates is not important to include in mobile notary marketing. I'll be the first one to answer. I'm not messing with that. I'm not even putting that nowhere near my website, bro. Not on a business card, not on sales copy, no nothing. I am not competitive.
Yeah. The answer is false, but I'm glad you left this question in. The answer is false, but I'm glad you left this question in because exactly what you just said. You will see this word, this phrase everywhere. See, I knew the answer was false. And by the way, I haven't looked at these, but for the reasons you said, you offered a different perspective on that. I think that's important. But the answer is certainly false.
Yeah, I'm not touching that, bro. I no. And what now? Why would you not do that, Tech?
Yeah, this is gonna sound counterintuitive. This is gonna sound like it doesn't make any sense at all. You would question naturally why you would put something that says competitive rates. Number one is because you don't want to compete, and by saying competitive rates, you are effectively competing with not the highest people, but the cheapest and the lowest and the dirtiest of them all.
I'm telling you, bro, that's sick. That's sick. That you know what people will start doing? They'll start treating your business like a cutout coupon. They'll be like, well, I went to Home Depot and Home Depot said I could get it for this price. Didn't you guys say you have competitive rates? Do you guys do price matching? Oh, no.
You're inviting people to argue with you.
Yes, it's ugh. Yeah, no. Heck no. Fuck no.
And it's funny. People want that. They like, I want people to call me, so I'm going to say we're competitively priced. But can you actually point to that actually helping you? I think people just naturally do it. But anyway, next question.
No, check it out though. Competitive pricing attracts competitive shoppers. Bar. Yep. Competitive pricing attracts competitive shoppers. So you're actually attracting those type of shoppers, not people that really are looking for the most convenient, the most professional, the most reliable. They're looking for someone that can compete. That's their mentality.
Yeah, bro. Where's the horns at, man? Where my horns at?
Oh yeah, they coming. This is the last question, and then we gonna let it rip.
That was a bar.
Question number 10. Using secure documentation in your marketing can help differentiate your mobile notary service. True or false?
Good question. True.
True. Bro, you scored a C note. So let me get these sounds going.
Yeah, man. I know I've missed a lot of them in the past, but this is just, entertainment, education. We want to entertain you guys. We also want to educate you. So I would purposely get some wrong. Y'all didn't believe in your boy, man. Y'all thought I was slipping, man. Nah, man. I'm a great test taker, and I'm also a very knowledgeable mobile notary. But it ain't about knowledge, man. We talk about how to get clients. Knowledge is only going to get you so far. We talk about how to get clients. We talk about how to make your business.
Yeah, bro. Fantastic job, bro. Fantastic job. Did you want to go right into the money corner?
Yeah, let's see if I can do this. I think the baby's cool now.
Pull up the background for you. Well, in the meantime, let's do a quick commercial break. This money corner is brought to you by repurpose.io.
Opus Clip turns your long form videos into short clips in one click.
Opus Clip is powered by AI, and it can create 30 clips in 15 minutes and outperform any manual video editing by saving 90% of time and tons of money. Opus Clip is so hot right now, it's like trying to get tickets to a Beyonce concert. So get Opus Clip now. Don't be the person who hears about it later and goes,
Dang, I should have listened to Tiger Toledo.
Go ahead. Be the cool one in your squad. Try Opus Clip today for free. Just click the link in the description.
All right, all right. Let's see. Are we live? Are we live? All right, guys, welcome to this week's Money Corner. So essentially, guys, I'm going to review the book, 8 Steps to 7 Figures, the investment strategies of everyday millionaires and how you can become wealthy too. It was written by a man named Charlie Carlson. We're going to cover 8 specific topics on how these are simple things that everyday people can implement to really start building a future for themselves and get their families ahead. By the way, guys, when we talk about Money Corner, what we're doing is we want to encourage every business owner, every individual out there who happens to be a business owner, Notary Publics. Just because you have a commission doesn't mean you're a business owner. You got to understand how money works. If you are transferring money and circulating money, it's important, especially now, especially these days, that you understand how money works. So the question that many people have is, why is it that at the end of the month, I'm left with zero? I'm left with less. Well, the reason why is because some of the topics we're going to cover today. Number one, get started as soon as possible. These are 7 principles that you can start implementing right now, or 8 actually. Get started as soon as possible. The only thing that matters is time. If you start in your 20s, you have more time than somebody who starts in their 30s. Starting in the 30s, you have more time than somebody who starts in the 40s. What wouldn't you give to have an additional 20 years? If at the end of your life, somebody just came out and said, hey, would you like another 20 years? Just an additional time, just to do the things that you never did, meet the people that you never met before. See, even babies, he's serious about that too. Get started as soon as possible. It's not the amount of money you have, it's actually the amount of time you have. You can have a little bit, you can have a lot. The person who has $500 million, what wouldn't they give just to have an additional 20 years? Doesn't matter, right? So get started quickly. Number 2, set meaningful goals along the way. Set meaningful goals that are obtainable. The smallest things matter, and it has what's called a compounding effect. Baby, fast, baby, go easy. Meaningful goals means today, Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, that day I spent 5 minutes coming up with a checklist. That's a meaningful goal. That's more than what you did the previous day. It may not seem like it's moving the needle very much, but those little things, those little steps they make very impactful. They have impactful outcomes as you progress towards your goal. All right. Number 3, invest only in assets that always grow over time. Baby, go easy on it. Go invest in assets that only in assets that always grow over time. The easiest thing that when you hear the word investment, baby, the first thing you think about is stocks. Most people. The second thing you probably think about is something like mutual funds. And that's true. But investing doesn't always have to be limited to just stocks, mutual funds, real estate, businesses. A lot of times it's energy. Baby, do you like doing that? You like investing in things that always grow over time. Obviously, something like a stock is going to grow. But just doing it every day or doing it every week, you may not see big differences. Just buying property once every year or 2 years and then selling it the next 2 or 3 years, you may not see very much difference. So when we talk about time, we think about long term, think about things that giving it essentially some time to mature. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, or you just hold it forever, right? You buy a property, you talk about real estate, you buy a property and then you never let it go, you never sell it. It's something that's going to increase in value, and because number one, somebody lives there, right? You live there or your family lives there. So it's actually it's housing someone, and then also the value. If you decide ever to sell it, then the value, then you get back more than what you paid for it. Number 4, don't try and make a killing. All right, just accumulate steady gains year after year. In baseball, for my sports people, this is called getting on first base. All right, this is called just putting the ball in play. In contrast, if you were just trying to make a killing, you're just trying to hit a home run, you're trying to get a slam dunk every time versus just making the free throw. Just win the game. It's very rare that you'll just overnight just become an instant millionaire. You hear about that in TV, movies, but it's very rare that actually happens. Most of the time, what's way more likely to happen is that you're going to incrementally, gradually, progressively get towards your goal. You're going to run the marathon, and whoever is the last one running usually is the person that wins, not the person who sprints and then they get tired and they pass out. So just gradually increase your investments. Maybe you invest $5 because that's all you can afford. Well, $5 is more than zero, isn't it? And the person who does $5 versus the person who does $5 today and they do it over the course of 30 years or course of 10 years versus the person who starts 15 years from now and then they start throwing in a bunch of money. See, that person's swinging for the fences. The person who does the minimum and then they're just gradually doing it incrementally and then they do it consistently, that person's probably going to win in the end. All right. Number 5, we got 3 more to go. Number 5, add to your investments every month, even if you can't add much. Again, similar to the last step, this is a term that you may have not have heard before, but it's called dollar cost averaging. Essentially what that means is even if things are doing really well, you contribute. If things aren't doing as well, then you still contribute. What this does is build the habit. It builds the habits. A lot of times when people need more money, what do? If you needed to make some more money, most people, they would go and get another job, a second job or a third job. They'll maybe sell some things that they have around the house, or maybe they'll do Uber or something, right? Work in retail. But what if your habits never change and you find yourself in debt again? You find yourself right back where you started. You can't believe it either, can you? So building the habit of making this something that, when you get paid, we'll put aside the money you're going to pay yourself first and then pay everybody else. See, that's a habit that that will essentially get you to your desired status. In this case, the millionaire. I think you're starting to do it on purpose now. You like it when you do that, so I can laugh. Huh? All right, number 6. Moving on, 2 more. Don't trade stocks. Buy and hold them, and then hold some more. So I know there's people who have different opinions on this, and they're going to have their different views. But here's essentially what this means. Ownership is really what's important. When you trade stocks, you buy something, you sell it, you buy it, you sell it, buy, you sell it. Wealthy people, and wealthy is not a number. Wealthy is just a mindset. Wealthy is just a decision. It's not a number. There's not some magical number that automatically means you're wealthy. Wealthy is a habit. It's decisions. You can make poor decisions. You can make rich decisions, right? A poor decision is showing up to work every day late, right? A good decision is showing up to work every day on time, right? So the decision to buy and hold something means that ownership is going to be more important. The owning a business is going to be more important than buying and selling, because you may lose money on the sale, or you may have to pay certain taxes when you have, you buy certain assets and then you sell it. You have to. There's certain taxes that gets triggered with those type of things. All right, but ownership is important. Ownership of businesses, ownership of real estate, ownership of stocks. Own it. Hold it. Number 7, take advantage of everything the government allows. This calls for repeating over and over and over again. You always hear about large companies that have 920 locations worldwide, and they only paid $39 in taxes. Well, how is that possible? How is that fair? Well, I'm gonna be honest. The same provisions that are allowed to many of these business owners, they're allowed to use well. If you're a W-2 wage earner and you don't have a business, unfortunately, you are only afforded, like, I want to say like 2 or 3 certain tax write-offs, like the interest that you pay on your mortgage for your house, and maybe something else like travel or something like that, child care credit, things like that. But as a business owner, and again, you don't have to own, you don't have to own the White Sox, or you don't have to own Amazon or own a car dealership. You can just be a small home-based business owner, notary public. All right, you can just be a real estate agent, or even an Uber driver. You can still be. I could qualify as a business owner. Puff fast, baby, puff fast. But by being a business owner and having what's called 1099 income versus W-2 income, that allows you certain privileges as a business owner. There's all types of things you can write off: appreciation, depreciation. You can write off the taxes, or the sales tax. You can write off insurance. You can write off home offices. You can write off expenses, mileage. You can write off purchases. There's all types of things that just aren't given to just regular W-2 wage owners. So take advantage. This is actually pretty important. I wish we can spend more time on this, number 7, because taxes and debt is actually the biggest killers of wealth. All right. It's not how much money you are able to make and how much money you can hoard. Right? You actually get penalized for hoarding money. But if you can save on the amount of taxes that you get, that you're paying, yes, you pay your fair share, but you don't want to overpay. So take advantage of everything that gets allowed to you. You can always put that back into the economy. All right, last one. Maintain a steady lifestyle, living on less than you earn. Now, listen, this one's the last one, and it's a great one, because when people hear this, they say, I need to budget more. I need to eat beans and rice. I need to stop taking vacations. I can't go to Starbucks. I can't enjoy myself. I have to wait until 20, 30, 40 years just to, enjoy. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. I'm actually saying the opposite. I'm saying you should do all those things right now. But when you are financially educated and you're knowing how your money is being circulated, and you know how it works, then you can make more informed, better decisions. Don't go out and buy that car right now. You don't need to go out and buy that $200,000 vehicle right now. Learn how to make money, learn how to keep it, learn how to save it. Then you go out and enjoy it. All right. So that concludes today's Money Corner. I'm Tekamaku. If you guys want to learn more about some practical ways that you can not invest your money, right? And by the way, I am licensed by the state of California Department of Insurance to talk about certain topics. I know there are people right now all over YouTube who talk about these financial subjects, and they always give that disclaimer. You know the one I'm talking about. I am not a licensed professional. This is not professional financial advice. Yo, how many people have listened to those people and lost millions of dollars? I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm licensed by the state of California and Department of Insurance to talk about these subjects. So next time you hear somebody talk about all these different stocks you should buy, and then they don't want to take accountability by saying that I'm not a financial professional, this is not financial advice, that's BS. You want to talk to somebody who really has a passion for helping people, and you just want to bounce some ideas, scan the code, you can talk to me. I love this stuff. I enjoy it. I think what separates people from their happiness is the fact that they complain and complain and complain about everything that has nothing to do about their managing their money. But really what people are complaining about is their debt. They're complaining about their taxes. They're complaining about their insurance. They're complaining about all these subjects that, frankly, no one has ever sat down with them and talked to them about it. So scan the code. Let's get started, y'all.
Dirty engineer boy. Circle it. Circle it.
Well done, brother. Well done. So we about to go into the main discussion today about why mobile notaries everywhere are panicking, and the reason will shock you. You may think it's very notary related, but it's not. It's something that we really can't control, but there are some things that you can control. So before we go into that, we're going to go into a quick commercial break.
As a part-time traveling notary with a full-time job, balancing everything can be tough, especially when you're getting calls at all hours. That's where SabrinaAI comes in. Think of Sabrina as your personal assistant who answers every call, handles appointment bookings, provides quick answers to common questions, and filters out non-urgent inquiries. Sabrina works 24/7 so you never miss a client opportunity, even when you're tied up with your full-time job. With this system, you can keep things running smoothly without the stress of managing calls yourself, giving you more time to focus on your work, clients, and everything else life throws your way.
Scan the QR code for a free demo.
Today's topic is about something very serious that's going on in today's climate that is affecting all notaries and mainly all businesses right now. We're experiencing high inflation and we're experiencing tariff wars, right? Those are two things that we cannot control, right? But this is a wake-up call kind of show right now, because we're not realizing that it is eating away from our profits. It is literally eating away from our profits. So to give you guys a quick stat on what's going on, current economic climate right now, inflation in 2024 was about 5.2%. I think it's fluctuating between 5.2 to 7%, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics. Average cost increase in supplies like paper, ink, things like that is about 12%. The tariff impact is going to be anywhere from 15 to 20% increase for imported notary equipment, printers, scanners, etc. Now, this is not including your everyday lifestyle. We have to realize that. So not only are you, let's say you like tuna fish, you like getting tuna fish, you know what I mean? Cans of whatever, tuna. Not only is the inflation going up on the tuna, but they're charging tariff on the steel that goes around the can. So your notary dollars are not stretching like they used to. So I got some real stats here, Tech. So Emily, who's a notary out in New York, Brooklyn, right? She charges about $150 per notarization. $50, like we're going to overshoot it. We're going to say $50. $150 is her gross. $50 of that goes towards expensive gas, maintenance, lights, whatever, all the stuff that goes with the notary stuff. So she net profits $100. Now, here's the thing with that. With tacking on inflation and these tariffs that's going on, her cost now is about $57.92. So she's losing about $8. So her net was about $100. Now it's about $92. So her money's not stretching like it used to. It's impacting her lifestyle. So she's going back to what you said earlier in the money corner. It's like, the end of the month, you don't have any money saved. You really ain't going to have any money saved if you do not take this wake-up pill. Tech, what do you think about that with today's climate and everything that's going on? How
Yeah,
their profits are eroding.
Yeah, you know, it's something that you won't notice, man. It's something. It's always there. It's an invisible. It's an invisible killer, man. You really don't realize it until years, man. Until you know, and by the time you start to react to it, it's already kind of too late. So taking these steps in advance, you know, I'll put it this way. It's funny, man, because I don't think this is going to last forever. Certain things like inflation can fluctuate. Tariffs can definitely stop and start and end and begin. But it's funny how the cost of something in 1975 versus something like today in 2025, you know, you rank the you can get a car for $9,000, right? $3,000 back then, and now today a car is $100,000, $60,000-$70,000. A lot of people may not really kind of grasp that. That's a big jump, bro. Like,
it's a big jump
within a lifetime as well. Like, this is not like, if you're 50 years old today, you can probably, you know, granted you wasn't buying a car when you were a baby, but you were alive. A 50-year-old today was alive at a point where you can buy, you know, gas for $0.25. Seriously. And now gas is like $5.90. So you think about that massive jump. This is something that gradually happens over time. I think that if you don't know how to manage your approach to business and money and finance, then this could really be scary, because now it's happening so rapidly.
Now, I want to bring up a couple of problems and challenges notaries are having, right? And at the end of every show, you guys know that we provide solutions and quick action tips that you can take. So we're not going to leave you hanging and be fear mongers and have you panicking and be like, these guys didn't give me no solutions, no strategy whatsoever. We do not.
My blood pressure has been raised up. Yeah,
I hate when people do that to me. They'll just they'll scare me to death and shit, and then just be like, all right, well, fend for yourself. I can't stand fear mongers like that. So, but let's address a couple of elephants in the room, right? Your operational expense have increased. We know about the gas prices. You're going to see, you know, we do have paper mills here in America, Georgia Pacific, SCA, that we can recycle and create our own paper, but the price is still going to increase on the paper. Same thing with the ink. So your operational expenses are going to be squeezing your profits. The second thing is there's going to be a pricing dilemma. There you will probably experience some difficulty passing on the cost to your clients. So if you do increase the price, and if they're watching, and this is very important, Tech, and tell me what you think about this, because notaries may start experiencing more rejection from clients on their pricing, right? And it's not because your price is high, it's because they've been watching a lot of fearmonger news that have put them in a recession state of mind. So they feel that, oh my God, I have to be more conservative. I don't have enough money to pay for this. So you may start experiencing some difficulties passing on that cost to your clients. What do you think about that, bro?
Well, when is the right time to improve your skills?
Now.
Yesterday. Probably even better.
You can't do nothing about the past. The present we can.
Yeah. Yeah. I say that as a figure of speech. So when your customers are becoming more conscious, talk about giving solutions, right? Great point, man. We're going to get your blood pressure all riled up and get you all feared and scared and everything, and then not tell you what to do. That's not what we do here. So your customers are going to start noticing that their costs are going to go up. Groceries, their entertainment, their clothing, their fuel, food, things like that. So Notary, as Andre Hatcher, the shaman, would like to say, is a recession-proof, pandemic-proof business. But you gotta operate it like a business. Have to. It's essential. And what do businesses do? Businesses find ways to save money, find ways to produce money, to grow the revenue, and to obviously keep the doors open. Last thing you want to do is go out of business if you're a business. That means you're not doing very good. You're not making very much money. So when prices do go up, and you will have to stabilize your prices. I'm not saying charge $1 million. That's not what we're telling people, to start charging $1,000. What we're saying is that people are going to ask, well, you're going to look for value. So increasing improve your skills on how you talk and how you communicate, right? You can't just be babbling and think that just because you look good and you're cute, people are going to hire you. You have to increase. Now is the time to work on your influence. Now is the time to work on your negotiation, baby, to work on your persuasion ability, your selling ability. Explain why should I hire you? What makes you better than the person who's down the street? What makes your notary company more valuable to me than the person who's down the street? Okay, you charge $20 more, and why? You don't have to give a reason to justify and explain to yourself, but your presentation, your operation ability should be able to tell the story.
And Kimber want to be on camera, fam. He want to be on camera.
He sees you. He likes you.
But it's real though, because your customers may be in a panic. And they may feel that, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to cut back, like you were saying on the Money Corner. I'm going to have to cut back on the Starbucks. I don't have as much disposable income as I thought, even though this document is expensive. So I want the notaries to understand it's not you. It's not you. It's the climate. We have to be very aware of, is it raining? Is it pouring? Is it tornado season? Is it sunny outside? Right now, they're pushing a propaganda of panic. Shit, look at California right now with the military is out there. You know what I mean? It looks like martial law is being implicated out there. They're pushing a narrative of panic. A lot of times it's not true. A lot of times it's not true. So I don't want the notaries to think that it's because their price is too high or whatever. He said, including Notary World says, I include ink card fingerprinting in my business. It is the most lucrative. I made $1,500 in one day. That is fantastic. Shout out to you. This needs the horns on that one. Shout out to Notary World on doing that. There's money in this business.
Yeah,
there's money in this business. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, no doubt, right? Listen, pandemic proof, recession proof, protest proof, uprising proof. People still need stuff notarized. Don't ever forget that. People still need fingerprinting. They still need that. Listen, business will continue to go on. Okay, don't ever let someone tell you something different. That's how things operate. It's how circulation, and notaries are a very important part of that whole business operation. Fingerprinting is very important in that whole equation there. Why should I go with you? What is it about you that makes me or compels me to want to hire you? Do you provide automation? Do you provide instant reminders? Do you provide courtesy text? Are you guaranteeing that this won't get rejected? How do I know? Am I 100% confident that this won't cost me more money in the end because I have to come back out and because you put the stamp on sideways and it's smudged? Or if you submitted your fingerprints and it got rejected, like, how do I know that it's going to be worth my time? You can convey those messages very easy with a quality presentation. Don't cut corners. Here's the first thing I would do, Tiger, immediately. First thing I would do, get rid of
before you say what you do, brother, let's go into the Notary SEAL Team actionable solutions.
Let's go.
Lead off, brother.
Notary solution number one, easy one. Get rid of the Gmail account. Toss it. No more. No more. That ends today. That ends right now. Get rid of the Gmail account. Why? Why should I get rid of the Gmail account?
Tech. Why should somebody get rid of the Gmail account, bro?
How?
Why?
Why should you? First of all, if you're struggling, or if you even anticipate that what we're telling you about is not going to happen, or it can't happen to you, keep it. All right, keep it then. But for the person, if the customer approaches, the customer has solutions, customer has options. Tiger, you always say that they can go with you, they can not go with you, or they can do nothing. All right, the customer always has an option. In an open market, if you want to present yourself without talking, right? These are unwritten things that you can do. These are the Gmail account instantly conveys to the customer that what you offer is probably less superior than what the other person offers. And then on top of that, let's say they do decide to go with you. You keep the Gmail account, they do decide to go with you. But because what we're talking about in terms of stabilizing your prices, you want to charge an additional $5, $10, $100. Well, someone who's a very savvy customer, and customers, you do agree, customers are getting smarter, right, Tiger?
Every day.
Every day. The customers are getting smarter, and they see a Gmail account, and then they already have this preconceived notion about what it is that you offer is not that expensive or not that valuable. Then now that openly invites them to want to haggle with you, or price shop, or do the competitive shopping with you. So you can avoid that entire, and I got one more too. You can avoid that entire mess by not having a Gmail account. All right, last one, and this is going to be a great one. The law office, or the tow truck company, or the car dealership, or even the nursing home, or all these different facilities that constantly, the bank, the financial institution, the engineering firm, all these companies that use mobile notaries on a constant basis, who are they going to trust more with handling their clients' documents? Again, you may not think that the Gmail account makes a difference, but let me tell you something. If I am a high brand, my office is on the 50th floor in the building in the Sears Tower. All right, I'm a high price attorney. Why would I go, if I have the choice, why would I go with somebody who has a Gmail account versus somebody who has a branded business email account? Why wouldn't I go with them? What would stop me? So you want to attract higher paying clients. You want people to not object and question why it is what you charge. The Gmail account is the easiest one to get rid of. I wouldn't even argue it. I wouldn't even dispute it. If you want to keep it, more for us.
Yeah. I personally know business owners that will not even, like, if you're soliciting for business, your offer may be fantastic, but I know personally business owners that will look at your email, and if they see a Gmail, they don't take you serious and they don't even give you a try.
So you've eliminated yourself before you even had a chance.
Yeah, with them, 100%. 100%. Because what happens is when you reach a certain level with your business, you start taking business extremely serious. So if, like you said, if I'm on the 50th floor in a high-rise building and I've worked and I scratched and clawed and bit my way up there, you have noticed certain things that makes a business effective, reliable. The presentation has to be, you have certain standards for a business at that point, right? So big clients like that, they look at that. They really do. Heck, there's firewalls that your email can't even penetrate because it's a Gmail or a Yahoo account. Like, it gets rejected. It doesn't even see the light of day. So I agree with you on that. Now, here's a couple more solutions on that, Tech, and you can jump in at any time and let me know what you think about this. Let's go. adjusting your pricing models. What do you think about that? For today's climate with the inflation and tariffs and people being in an uproar and a panic, what do you think about adjusting your pricing models?
Increase it. Most people probably think I'm going to go low. I'm going to lower. Adjustment can mean both. It can mean both. Like I can give people a break, a price break. I can give people, or I could, go up in price. But
you said increase it, bro, man.
Monster kill.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. In this type of climate, the last thing you want to do is do what everyone else is doing. Intuitively, people might think, all right, I'm gonna lower my price, but that's exactly the time when you should do the opposite. That's when the time you should start separating yourself. So I would say increase it. Now, here's the thing though. When you increase it, you're not doing this to pay your light bill, okay? You're not doing this so that you could go out to take a cruise. All right. What I'm saying is ethically, what I'm saying is, and we do care about ethics here. No, we're giving you practical advice, and we're speaking from an ethical standpoint now.
But we're running a business as well.
Yeah, these are legitimate business. This money isn't going in to pay for expensive lotion and stuff. To buy bags and expensive purses and stuff. No,
it can though. It can.
It can. Yeah, you want to get some new rims? Go ahead, man. You need some rims for the Range Rover? Go ahead. Now, increasing your prices justifiably by saying that, so our company, we're investing in new technologies to help serve you better. We've implemented AI solutions so that you can get an instant automatic response, so there's less delay in you getting your document signed. And I'm being honest. I'm being truthful. We've hired additional staff so that we can serve our customers better. That's why our prices are increasing, so that we can bring better value. We're not just saying that. We're not just writing that on our website. We're actually living that.
It's funny, man. I read this book that said people only remember two companies when it comes to price: the most expensive and the cheapest.
Wow.
You're either going to remember. If I were to say car, which one's the most expensive? You already have a couple of cars in mind. If I say car, the cheapest, you already have some cars in mind. If I said liquor, who's the most, who would you think is the most expensive? Again, top of mind. I loved your response. You said increase your price. Increase your price.
Now is the time to go up. Now would be the time to go up.
Do the opposite of what the masses are doing, huh? Okay. So another thing we would recommend, another actionable solution, assess your operational costs. Really look at your costs. How much money are you spending, per notarization? Reassess all that. Analyze your current expenses. Identify areas that may be affected by inflation and tariff. Let me see what else. What other solution?
Yeah, you always talk about that. Go lean. Y'all say you should evaluate your business and trim the fat.
Yeah, trim the fat as much as you can. You keep your business on the treadmill. That's the best thing. Feed your business while it's on the treadmill. Always keep your business lean. If you don't have to have 4 VAs and you can replace your 4 VAs with SabrinaAI, do that. Like that, you get no props really by digging a hole for your business. I know people, Tech, that employed about 6 to 10 people. The employees loved them. They were the best boss, bro. They were doing Christmas parties. They would give you bonuses at the end and all of that shit, right? Business their business went out of business because they were so generous. They didn't look at their finances correctly. They didn't make the adjustments that they had to make. And then guess what happens? Those same employees wind up getting other jobs, but they remember you as, you know what? That was you throw the best Christmas parties. This nigga's at the register right next to you at Costco ringing you up. You remember when I used to work for you? I still got that mug you got me for my birthday. Come on, man. We're running a business. We're running an operation here. Just found out, what company is that? What company is that? Procter & Gamble is going to be laying off 1,000 people in the next 2 years. 1,000.
Now is the time to start your own business. Now is the time to grow your own business.
I was reading the Wall Street Journal today. Google's about to do a massive layoff.
Oh, no.
Now, you know, Google's been heavy with the AI lately. Dude, they're looking for ways to start laying people. It's not that, and I want to emphasize this, it's not that AI is replacing you. It's that you are being put in a position to learn a new skill for this new climate, this new world that we are developing. You are becoming a new species. The AI isn't something to be afraid of. There will be more self-made, like really self-made millionaires in the next 5 years due to AI than any other era in this world.
Well, just to bring it home to the notaries, would you rather use the technology or would you rather be replaced by the technology? Right?
Oh, I ain't trying to be replaced by nothing. I'm using technology to its fullest, bro. I am surfboarding technology and cutting edge. You know how we do, bro. Like we have to be at the cusp of all of this development. Whether we have to go to a trade show, whether we're watching videos of new development, it's the same reason why a person will go to a car show to see these concept cars. You want to stay ahead of the curve on what vehicles are going to be able to do in the future. I can imagine how people felt when they first saw a Tesla car with its self-driving mechanism. But if you were to go back 20 years ago and say, hey, there's going to be cars that drive us around and you won't have to, they'll think you're crazy. They would think you're absolutely nuts. They say, hey, there's going to be a car where you plug it in and it doesn't need gas. They would think you're insane. So AI, the era that we're living in with internet, AI, and all of this other stuff, is you have to pick up new skills. Implementing pricing adjustments, we kind of covered that. Now, adopting automation. At this time and place right now where we are with the inflation and tariffs, every customer, every phone call you get for a notarization is valuable, extremely valuable. You cannot afford to be missing phone calls no more.
No, that's a wrap. That's done.
If you thought you was like this and you saw a notary phone call come in and you're like, I don't feel like, no, that's done. That's muerto. It's over.
I feel like there's a lot of notaries who are going to be upset, and I just want to make sure that I would like to ask that if that anger or that frustration is just, make sure be upset, but kind of channel it to the right, direction. Because you might have been introduced to this industry by somebody when they gave you all this information, and then they told you about how to prep documents or how to explain documents, and you realizing none of that mattered. None of that is actually applicable right now, not in your current situation, or it probably led you to being in a position where you can't get clients, or it's just unuseful. So, but when you talk about well, what can you do now? And then you start seeing all around you, you hear about automation, you hear about AI, and that anger that you had, here is a new way that you can channel it. Here's where that can be refocused, and it can be put to great use. It can be redirected into what can now be beneficial to you. And AI and automation, especially if you're a business owner, especially if you're somebody who's overworked, you're burnt out, it's logically the next step. Is it not?
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to ask yourself, why am I burnt out? Why am I overworked and overwhelmed? And why am I underpaid? Why do I feel like I'm working so much and I'm not getting anything done?
Why is my customer retention? Why are failing? Why am I not getting referrals more? Like, why am I, why does my customer service suck? Why am I answering the phone calls now angry when I used to?
Why am I still marketing like I did with, I'm still marketing like I did in like it was like the 1980s or something?
Yeah, that's crazy. There's no evolution in yourself. And then if you do not evolve, you cannot expect your business to evolve because you're the one at the steering wheel. Here's another one, cost management. You do this a lot, Tech. If you have a subscription to something, you buy it for the entire year because it gives you a price break on that. Same thing for you guys that may be purchasing paper or stuff like that. Instead of buying that one ream of paper, buy that box. Maybe you'll get a bulk discount on that, a bulk purchase. And if the item that you're purchasing is affected by the tariffs, look for some local U.S. companies to start purchasing those products. That'll help reduce the erosion of your profits on that.
Yeah, and that goes to the money management aspect too. The reason why I like to buy things, if I can get a subscription, if I can get it all in 1 year, then it might cost a little bit more at that time. But here's another thing that it does. Mm-hmm. It becomes predictable. See, month to month, your expenses go up, don't they? And they also go back down, and then they go back up again, and then it goes back down. So from month to month, there's just so much stuff happening. Stuff breaks down, stuff comes up. If you pay for something monthly, the first thing when money gets tight, the first thing that goes is subscriptions. The first thing that goes is I want to cancel that. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to stop doing that. And I've done that before. I'm guilty of that. I've lived like that. But what I realized after becoming financially educated is that you can cut a lot of stress and save even more money if you just understand it from a principle standpoint. Buy it in large first. Like if you have a membership to a health club or a gym, pay for it all at once. That way it's out of your mind. You don't have to worry about it. Now you can just focus on getting in better health and better shape. If you can just focus instead of just, oh man, I got to make this payment every month. I got to make this, I got to do this, do that. If you've never tried it, give it a shot. There's psychologically some reasons why it'll make you feel better, less stressed out.
And then the last one, Tech, client communication. There are notaries here, there are business owners here that have corporate clients that, consistently do business with them. And one of the things that you may want to do is be transparent and let them know that your price is going up. Now, you may be afraid that you may lose that client, and you might. But you have to explain to them the rationale on, because one, they're going to trust you more because be like, hey, look, John, we've been doing business for the last 2 years. Our prices is increasing another additional 10% due to the climate change. We hope that we can retain you as a customer, but if you do decide to go somewhere else, we understand. Now, John has the option of saying, you know what, I've been doing business with you guys, 10%. We'll figure it out. We'll do it. Or John may negotiate with you and be like, hey, could you do 7%, 5%? That's better than that's better than you losing money. An additional I'll take an additional 5% than nothing at all. And then John may do nothing and be like, oh, well, yeah, let it ride. Or just cancel you out altogether. But if you do have corporate clients that you are dealing with on a regular basis and you plan on increasing your price, I would highly suggest you give them a call. Don't send them an email. Give them a call. Talk to them and say, hey, look, we're increasing our pricing. It's going to be this instead of, it's going to be $157 instead of the $150. I just wanted to share that with you. The quality of the work is still going to be the same, but due to the current climate change with the tariffs and stuff, it's costing our, we want to stay in business. You understand that, don't you?
Yo, I'm glad you brought that up because I made that mistake. I did that. Bro, my price went up 100%.
There you go.
You talking about 50%, 5%, 10%? Guys, my price went from 65. Baby, may I? My price went up from $65 all the way up to $130. All right. I doubled the price and I called. Actually, I made the mistake, Tiger. I didn't call and I just sent the email telling the owner of this. It was a hydrovac company. You guys know what that is? Don't worry about it if you don't. No, really matter. But they do a lot of construction.
Mm-hmm.
He used me like every month. And we got real cool, got real comfortable. I even brought him a bottle of wine, not to market to him or anything, but just because we did so much business together. And I told him, hey, Mike, the price went up, bro. It's double. And I made the mistake by not calling him because if I had done what you said, Tiger, I probably would have kept that client. He responded and he said, because it came to a point where I stopped going myself, right? I was seeing like really beautiful girls to
as you should.
Like,
yeah.
I sent really beautiful notaries to work with them, right? And he always thought that was real. Hey man, I like what you're doing. He would always say that. I like what you're doing. But he says, I see that your price went up. It's probably because you've hired more people. Am I right? Right. So he said that in the email. He says, hey man, it was nice working with you, but we can't afford that. I left it at that.
What did you do after that, though?
Well, my price didn't go back down. Now I could have.
Or did you negotiate it?
No, you make a good point. I should have negotiated another rate. I should have negotiated a smaller rate and talk about, well, rather than 100% of an increase, because you've been such a loyal client to us, here's your private link. Here's your partner program, our subscription program, and I did offer that to him, but he didn't take it.
Now 100% increase is drastic, right?
Yes.
100% increase on anything would make any client reconsider doing business with them, right? It's pretty rare that a company has been. Now, if he's a guy that you never did business with and you hit him with that 100% increase, he has no point of reference. But because he has a point of reference, he could be like, wait a minute, Tech, you was at $150. Now you're at $300. He is anchored at the 150. Now, if you went up like 160, 165, 170, he'll be a little bit more understanding. But at that point, he thought you was price gouging him.
He maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. Price gouging. When I think of price gouging, I think of taking advantage.
Bro, it's 100% increase, bro.
And it was still underpriced.
I'm with you. I get it. I'm just saying that from a customer standpoint, 100% increase from a company that they were doing business with looks like price gouging.
Okay. Price gouging is illegal too. You're not accusing me of doing something illegal, are you?
Yeah, we could change the word. We could call it price inflation. That's not illegal. But Notary World says, I do apostilles all the time for Disney Studios. Shout out to that corporate contract. That's lit. He said, I charged $250 for, am I lowballing myself since they are a $1 billion company? What are you trying to get, at least $1 billion for your apostille, Notary World? She's like, yo, let me just get a mill.
Let me ask a question. How often do they call you? If they call you more than once per month, you're lowballing yourself. I'll tell you that right now.
For sure.
Yeah, it's definitely, you should go up 50% easily.
Well, Dawn would have a fit. She's like, Disney Studios, 250. She would like fall out of her chair on that one.
Well, just for a regular person. I mean, not to say anything about Notary World, but a private paid client would pay easy. I mean, there's just a woman who works internationally. She works remotely, but for this international company, she pays $600 for those things, man. Nope, $597.
I would say this too. Are you comfortable with the price? That it has nothing to do with us. If you're comfortable and you feel that you're getting your fair shake of the price, then rock on. If you feel like you're being a bit slighted, like you could get a lot more using text 100% reference, be careful with that. Because again, you have conditioned your customer to pay a certain price. Yes, they are $1 billion corporation. Yes, they just bought Hulu and they're about to pay Hulu an additional $438 million for a $4 billion company. This is recent. They got more money than they're a conglomerate at this thing. They're just buying everything up. But will they accept you going from 250 to 500?
Notary World, do you have a Gmail account?
Yeah, I don't think Disney is gonna go with a 100% increase. They're extremely shrewd. That mouse is sharp as a tack.
No, don't do what I did. Don't do the 100%. The 100% is I pulled that off because, put it this way, I'm gonna ask this question. That $250 charge, I guarantee that was probably like your first time doing it. First time doing, like, you just added apostilles to your product offering. You probably said,
that could be it. Yeah,
I'm gonna just do $250. See, when I was doing $65 notaries, that's like in the very beginning. And then when I decided to go up 100%, I said, I'm starting fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't rock with me, don't rock with me. But I know what we offer because we use the technology that we employ, and because of the service and the value and the dependability, all these things. I know I can easily get 130 for this easily. So
I could tell you what I would do in that situation, Tech. If that was me and I had Disney Studios as a client and I was doing apostilles for them all the time and I was charging $250, this is what I would do. I would assess what I do for Disney from A to Z. Right? I'm talking about from the phone call to the email, and I will see all of the work that I'm doing to execute this apostille successfully. And then I would reassess my pricing. And then the new clients that come that need apostille, that's what I would hit them at. Look at Disney as a benchmark. Look at your situation with them as a guardrail and say, I would look at them, I will never go less than 250. Right? So the next client that needs an apostille, and just to give you some insight, there are people like Don Velez, who we've had on the show before, that get about $1,000 per apostille. Killer Cam, she would get $1,500 easy from apostilles. I don't know how extensive your apostille agreement is with them. It may be something really, really simple. So
yeah,
I would consider that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly what you said. Now here's your opportunity to find out. Right? Yeah. You can learn something right now. If you, because you obviously believe you're lowballing yourself, right? A little bit, right? Just a little bit, right? So here's an opportunity to test out how much value can you help them with, and you would approach it just like that. How can we make this better for you? How can we make this make more sense? All right, your apostles have to be sent out to Saudi Arabia. So we're going to cover the shipping, but at the same time, we're going to actually increase our rates. The turnaround time is usually about 2 days, but we're going to make it 1 day or same day, and so we're going to increase our rates here. So instead of costing $250, we're going to actually make it $600. But with that, what you're getting is you don't have to worry about shipping. You don't have to worry about any return documents. We'll cover all the notarization, and we'll do it the same day. So, make it more valuable, make it actually a little bit more attractive. And now so now you have two options. All right, well, we don't want to do it that new way. We want to keep it the same way. We'll continue paying $250. Or you have this upper tier option where you can do it for $600 or for $1,000. Like, some people probably won't believe you when you say people will get $1,500 for these, Tiger. They probably won't believe you. But it's absolutely, it's not just because of the person who charges $200. I've seen people charge $100 for apostles, by the way, and the person who does it for $1,000, they're not offering the same thing. All right, I see coaches and all these educators and all these mentor guru people. Oh, we're getting $150 for apostle. Learn how to do this, right? It's the most lucrative thing. And then, okay, I've seen $1,000 for one paper, right? But they're not offering what you're offering. They're offering two completely different things, and their experience around what they're offering is so much more lucrative, so much more involved, and it's way more hands off. It's like the customer does absolutely nothing, and you have to send some transcripts over to Costa Rica, and it has to be returned back so somebody can get a job in South America. Like, there's all these circumstances that are surrounded, and there's where the value is. And we can do it in 1 day.
Well, I could tell you how gangster I would get with it. Me personally, Tech, I would get straight gangster with it. And you know what I would do?
What?
If it's Disney Studios out there in Los Angeles, bro, do I have clearance to go in? That's the first thing first of all, I'm gonna do the apostille myself, because this has opportunity written all over it. I mean, opportunity just falling out the sky if you're keen and aware of the position that you're in. God makes no mistakes. So for me, bro, I'm running the apostille myself. If I find out that I have to go through the guarded gates of the studio to go into this, heavily guarded building and stuff like that, and then once I make my delivery, there are other offices in that building, bro, I'm networking like a madman. Oh shit, Hulu's down the hall? Ba. I'm hitting up with that. Oh shit, ESPN is over here? Check me out, Stephen A. Like, I'm going in, bro. I'm going in to the point where even if Disney canceled me, I'm already doing business with 5 other companies that Disney owns.
Right.
Oh, I'm going, so hard in the paint, bro. So I wouldn't focus too much on increasing the price with Disney. I would look more of the bigger picture of the opportunity of having that type of access. That access is phenomenal where you're at right now, Notary World. I kid you not. You have to just think outside the box. The person, most people will think about, how can I increase the price on Disney? I want you to think about, how can I expand my operation because I'm doing apostilles for Disney? Can I use that as social proof to put on my goddamn website? What? Tech? She got me charged right now, bro. I'd have that fucking bunny ears on my website, my dude. Trusted by Disney. What? Oh no. I would be going in.
Yeah, man, you've always been good at picking out, extracting all those little elements that most people will overlook. That's excellent, man. What other companies are on the studio grounds? Who else is in this building? Who else can I actually tiptoe in and rub elbows with? Right? That's right, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Disney would be a stepping stool for me to the more bigger picture. And first of all, just having that on your resume. It's like we do apostilles for Disney. Like, it's like graduating a fucking Ivy League school. Like, you're trusted by Disney. This ain't no joke.
Yeah, we treat our customers, we treat every customer like Disney. Like you're going to get the class grade A treatment from our company. That's why we charge so much. That's why we charge a premium. And I know it's not always about money, but it's always about consistency. Can you repeat it? Can you do this over and over and over again? And that's what people are going to. People will feel that. They're like, oh, this people, they know what they're doing right here. Yeah, they know.
I'll give you an example. You know, Canva just did their keynote speaking, which was a big deal, right? The first thing they talked about was how they work with Disney. Off the rip. Did you see the presentation?
No.
The keynote presentation, the very first thing they led off with was that we now work with Disney. Disney trusts Canva. Pixar Disney? You're talking about Toy Story Disney? Beauty and the Beast Disney? That's who you're talking about?
Yeah, and I get notaries, I send apostles from the same company that works with Disney. See, there you go, Notary World. Get it popping.
Woo! You have
you better not have a Gmail account in front of you. You can't Gmail. No, Disney ain't messing with you if you got Gmail accounts.
Well, she already landed them though.
That's true. So that's true. I'm saying for the future. I'm saying for anybody who's watching this.
Yeah.
You want, bro? Forget about it.
That's a big deal. I'm just letting you know, Notary World. That's a big deal. What you have been able to accomplish. You have to leverage that opportunity to its fullest. I'm talking about, like, don't be afraid, don't be scared. Let the agreement you have with Disney ride. Let that $250 you got is a bonus to the amount of connections you can make, the amount of business that you can leverage just by doing business with a powerhouse like that is unreal. She says, thanks for the advice. I'm considering going up, maybe an extra $50. I have a business email. I'm saying you get the extra $50, that's great, but there are so much more opportunities in there. So much. And again, if you're the one that's actually delivering, like when I do business for corporate clients, I want to meet them. That's me personally. I want to meet them. I want to shake hands with them. I want to break bread with them. We already breaking bread because there's already a transactional relationship between us. And then I want to survey the landscape. Are there other businesses like them that I can do business with?
That's good. So it's not just a one and done with you.
Oh, hell no, bro. Nah, never that. Well, that pretty much concludes Notary Insights live show. Tech, you want to leave them off with something besides book your demo with SabrinaAI, ladies and gentlemen, to automate your business? This is the time to do it.
We can do a pass of trash. We got a second?
Oh shit, we got time.
Okay. All right, I'll pull it up.
You'll have to pull up a website though.
Okay. All right, let's do it real quick.
Let me cue it up.
Yeah, I'll get it set up, and then you can do a little intro here.
All right, what state are we gonna look at?
All right, y'all. For those of you guys who don't know what passive trash is, we randomly take a website and we'll analyze it. We'll break it down, give you some insights of why it's functional, why it's probably not working so well. And again, we've never met these people before. But Notary World, if you want to put your website in, we could actually do yours if you want. I don't know. It's up to you. But that's, none of this stuff is personal. None of this stuff is to disparage anybody. We do this for educational and entertainment purposes only, so that we can help you close more deals, make more money. That's the purpose here. All right, we're not here to humiliate anybody, right, Tiger?
Right.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, that ain't cool. That's like bullying and shit. So
yeah, we that's not what we're doing. So we'll randomly let's how about let's do LA.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. So I'm gonna search notary in Los Angeles. How about mobile notary? All right. As I type
Kimba must be sleep.
Yeah. All right. First up. So, and if you've never seen it before, we just go with the first one. We don't even we don't pick on anybody. We just don't whoever pops up first. All right. So this good looks okay. All right. We got Los Angeles Travel Notary. We got 4.9 stars, 200. Looks good. Good profile so far. We got website and directions. So it looks like they have a physical address. First impressions, not bad. First impressions for you, Tiger?
How many stars?
200.
Oh wow, yeah, that's really good.
4.9 stars, 200 reviews.
Yeah, that's great. And they only been in business for 3+ years, so that they're going on their first round of commissions, which is excellent.
Yeah. I would say only thing I would point out is that it's got to be 5 stars, guys. 4.9 is close. It's got to be 5. It's got to be 5. 200 reviews is really good for under 3 years. All right, let's click on the website. All right.
But by the way, the one right under it, Jessica's, which didn't mention mobile notary or anything. Yeah, it did. She has 333 and all 5 stars. Yeah. So yeah, that's who Los Angeles Traveling Notary in the mind of this would be competing against. So you can imagine who would go with who.
And this is a great time to point out what Andre C. Hatchett, the shaman, would always point out is that the difference between these two on the surface may not be obvious, but there's a big difference in the mind of a business owner. One-man operation, big conglomerate.
Yeah. Good point.
And there's all type of limitations that come with that. Perceived limitations. It may not actually be real, but there's all type of perceived limitations that come with that. All right. First thing off the top, we always look for a phone number, right? We always look for a phone number or at least a way to book. And I don't see a phone number.
This looked like the Google landing page site, to be honest.
Oh, this gives away the book now button, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the name at the top left-hand corner.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is their Google landing page.
I think it's a real website. Yeah, I see what they kept it very simple, very basic, which is really all you need, right? Simplicity is always going to be better. Let's see here. So I don't see a phone number. That's the one thing you always look for. You got a phone number here at the bottom, but it says to text it. Sundays, holiday. All right. The objective here, as we do this, guys, is we're acting as clients. We're looking to book an appointment. How can we do it? So calling is probably going to be the first objective, and we don't see that. We don't see a phone number immediately, but that's okay. We see a phone number here at the bottom, and it says to text. It doesn't say to call. It says Sundays, holidays, out of business hour, Texas. Not sure what that means, but it probably means that they're closed on Sunday, closed on holidays, out of business. Out of business. I'm not sure what that means. But this is a strike. I would never. You always want to avoid turning business away, or you want to avoid sending a message to the person that you can't help them. Anytime you're telling somebody what you cannot do, never a good thing. I can't charge this. You can't dress that way. You can't come at this like. Always, it should always be positive. So telling somebody we're closed on Sundays, and again, on the surface, it may not seem like that, but these are the messages that the copy we were talking about earlier, the website copy, things where you can convey the messages and without actually saying it. All right. So a lot of text here on the front. Do you think people read this?
Some, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think people skim it.
Yeah, they'll do a scan.
Yeah. I don't think people read this. I think they skim it. Everyone's convenient. Everyone talks about reliability. Everyone talks about personal attention. Everybody talks about legal expertise, even though you're not a lawyer. But other than that, I'm impressed with the website overall. It's very clean. It's something that looks, the font is big. It's too much writing. Nobody's going to read all that. But at the same time, it's nothing looks broken. All right. So let's try to book an appointment, shall we?
But before you do that, just acting as a customer, right? Go to service fees. Now I want to look at, if you're going to give me the opportunity to survey the pricing landscape early on, I'm going to do it.
All right.
Before I even call you.
All right. All right. So again, we have a lot of text. We have a lot of explaining to do, Lucy. Our notary services are structured to ensure transparency and fairness. There's that word fair, the F word. Here's a breakdown of our fee structure. See, fairness is going to get you out of business, right? Being fair, Disney makes $1 billion. I'm only being fair. I'm just kidding.
Right. I've seen a lot of picket lines saying the rat is unfair.
You call Mickey Mouse a rat?
That's what they call him out here in Chicago. Bro, no, I'm serious. Like Disney there was the time that Disney was doing something and they were protesting and they had a big ass blow up balloon. I mean, this shit was like probably like as high as like 3 stories. And it was anchored down into the ground and it was a rat. And they were basically talking about Disney is unfair. I don't know what the hell they were complaining about, but I just remember that it was aimed at Disney and they were calling Mickey Mouse a rat.
I don't know why that's hilarious. That's funny, man. The rat is unfair. Yeah. Oh, man. All right. So
I don't see any numbers.
I don't see any numbers either. And that's what I'm saying. You see a lot of explaining, Lucy, a lot of justifying before dating time.
Then I would just remove that.
Yeah, I would give it.
Yeah, I'd remove that tab. You didn't give any price.
Holiday surcharge. General notary fees. Here we go. All right. Here's that word general notary. Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But we'll say 1 to 2 mile travel, $100. So it's interesting because it's clear. It says $100 for 1 to 2 miles. So does that mean whatever I'm charging, whatever I'm getting signed, is going to be $100 if it's under 2 miles?
Right.
So if I step over a mile, it's 125, and then it says every subsequent. Then I see another number here that says the first notarization is included. Every subsequent notarization is $15. Yeah. So they're being very transparent. They're being very open with that, and it makes sense. This could get you in trouble though. I mean, and I'm not saying from a legal perspective or with your Secretary of State. I'm saying that people, it's math. It's going to confuse people, and essentially what you're going to run into is people typically will take the lowest option. That's what's when you present. I'm looking just at the presentation. It says first notarization included with $15, and then so that means it's $100. But if I have two signatures, it's $115. If I have one signature within 5 mile radius, it's $125. But if I have two signatures, then it automatically jumps up to $140. See what I'm saying? And so let's say if I have, and this is just general notary, right? So let's say if I have a power of attorney and I have 3 signatures, what is that? I'm doing math. Okay, and so I have a power of attorney. My wife and also my brother needs to be on it, and then so that's 3, and then my mother who's at the nursing home, and the nursing home is actually about 30 miles away. What is the cost?
Also, you're asking the customer to be a fucking Jarman or TomTom because they're like, okay, 5 to 10 miles. That must be from their location. So let me type in their location and then see how far my location is to see where I fall in the bracket.
Now, 100% right. Now, see what you're doing. See, is just so did you guys catch that? What Tiger just said? Now, the destination and then the original point. Imagine if I'm on my cell phone doing this. Now, I'm gonna add another element to that. I'm on my cell phone trying to do all these calculations and trying to figure out what the Google Maps, MapQuest thing is now on top of the math. So it seems intuitive to include, like, why wouldn't I include a menu on my website?
Call for your quick free quote, bro. Simple as that. Every order is customizable. It shouldn't be blanket like that. It shouldn't be blanket orders. Everything should be because even with this menu, like you just mentioned, it's still customizable, right? Because if I'm living between 2 to 5 miles, that I'm in the middle tier now. And if I have 3 people that are going to be signing for it, now there's 15. So this entire section right here is this is what I would call being lazy. You don't want to do the calculation yourself. And then what happens is the customer took the painstaking time, if they really want it, they do the painstaking time of doing the calculation themselves. So guess what the customer is going to do when they call you? They're going to dictate the price to you.
Yeah. They tell you what to charge.
So you feel that you're giving the customer power to dictate. Yeah, no, I'm just not cool with that. That's not my business model, but if it works, it works for them.
So the customer is now telling you what to charge, and let's just say, God forbid, your number is not the same number that they came up with.
Now you can lose trust over that
immediately. It becomes a match of wits now. And you definitely don't want to go to war with customers over price.
Not arguing and, well, I calculated this. How'd you come up with your number? Oh man, dude, no. Again, I wouldn't want that smoke.
Yeah, so stay away from that.
It's not a fight that I want to participate in.
All right, let's book an appointment.
Yeah.
All right, so you click on book, and it takes us to our online booking platform for notary services. This is looks like it's probably Acuity or some type of online. Okay, we got some instructions here at the bottom. Choose your service, preferred date and time, contact information, specify the location, review. Fine. All right. So let's see. Today is 11th. So we got an appointment at 4, 5, and 6 on the hour. Let's say next, I want to book an appointment for this Friday. So you can book in advance. That's good. Mornings and afternoons, good. All right, you click on 9 o'clock. So we have to include our name. Oh, it says we will meet you at your office, home, cafe, hospital. Write down your address below. We are located at 3600 Wilshire. All right. So there you go with the the Garmin analogy you used. Okay. So we have our name, our demographics, phone, location, documents. They'll say nice to describe what document or what you like to achieve. Travel service acknowledgement, travel fee, and personalization. See our fee schedule. Acknowledge this is okay. ID requirement. All signers have valid ID. Very good. All right. Pretty simple. Lastly, let's see. It says after successfully booking, you'll get a confirmation email, all relevant details. Prepare your appointment prior to schedule anything. Book the notary service. Okay. So overall, not bad. It's if for people. So anything else you see, Tiger? Anything else you want to comment on?
No.
Okay. Just another sort of a side note. We're doing this on a desktop. Mobile responsiveness to websites always kind of plays a role into whether or not somebody books, because whether or not it's functional, right? So we always talk about functionality. Number one, functionality. Can you book an appointment? Let's talk about functionality. Does the link work? Does the we click on services, does it take us to services? We click on about, does it take us to about? Overall, I would give this website a B, a strong B.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. I would give it a strong B. I would say that there's entirely too much writing. The first thing I would always put up here is that there's a website booking component and with a phone number so that people can just do what they need to do. No one's reading all of this. I guarantee no one's reading any of this. Like literally, I would be willing to bet $1,000 that no one's reading all of this stuff. And really, what people want to do, as somebody who lives in Silicon Valley and who's coached notaries for over almost 5 years now, around the world, the primary objective you want your website to do is to book an appointment. That's it. You really only want one thing. You don't want to. You don't see any pictures here, which is a good sign. That could work against you in your favor. It could work against. It could work against you. These look like all stock images. These may or may not be real people. But the number of reviews is definitely going to draw people to this website.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get here, it's clean. It's just overkill. You have all these documents. They're probably doing this for SEO purposes, right? Many people they post all this stuff about the document types for SEO purposes. Whether or not that plays a role into what people, does that compel someone to actually book you or not? I think that that's debatable. So that we'll save that for another episode. And then we talked about the service fees. Talked about how you can put yourself into a corner by doing this, and it could get real dangerous. It can. It may not seem obvious, but it can get real dangerous when you start to do math, and somebody may come up with a different number than you do, and that may be a reason why they don't hire you. It could be that could be the reason. So we would suggest contacting us so that you can now customize the appointment for that person. All right, but overall, we do pass or trash. I would give that website a pass.
Bravo. Very nice, man. So we have actually hit the top of the second hour on this show. So this was a special for you guys. This was a special. We was able to run through everything we wanted to go through. Tech, any last words, bro?
Yeah, so if you guys need help with your websites, then SabrinaAI is real. We recommend it. Will answer the question, which is how long is it going to take you to put up a website? Well, overnight or less than a weekend or maybe 2 weeks. However long it's going to take, Sabrina could actually expedite that and accelerate that process. How long is it going to take you to get a business email? Well, it could take you 2 months. Could take you less than that. Well, how come you haven't had one yet? Why is it taking you so long? What about a business phone number? How long? Why don't you have a second business line that's dedicated strictly for business? What is it that separates you from the mobile notary that we just reviewed? It's the little things that Sabrina answers. So I encourage you to scan the QR code, go to heysabrina.ai. That's heysabrina.ai. Book a demo with us. We'll look at what you currently have going on, and we'll come up with some ways to help you get to where you want to go.
Cool. And with that said, we'll see you next Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Be safe, be cool, and makes lots of money. You heard?
As a business owner, you're juggling a lot, and managing phone calls can quickly become overwhelming.
That's where Sabrina, the AI voice automation that turns calls into clients, comes in. Imagine having a reliable 24/7 assistant that never misses a call, handles routine questions, schedules appointments, and directs important calls to the right people, all without needing a human touch.
This frees up your team's time to focus on what really matters, saves you money, and ensures every customer gets a consistent, professional experience. It's like having an extra set of hands, so you can focus on growing your business, not just managing calls.
Scan the QR code to book your free demo today.